The woods had always been their escape. For as long as they could remember, Cole, Jake, Liz, and Amy had gone camping together every summer, trekking deep into the forest to find the perfect secluded spot. It was their tradition, a chance to disconnect from the world and reconnect with each other. This year, they chose a new location, an untouched stretch of forest farther from town than they'd ever gone. The map showed nothing but trees for miles, a haven for adventurers like them. They packed their tents, supplies, and a healthy dose of excitement, ready for another unforgettable weekend. But this trip would be unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. The first night was perfect. The friends sat around the campfire, laughing and roasting marshmallows under a canopy of stars. The woods were alive with the sounds of crickets and the occasional rustle of leaves. It was peaceful, serene. But the next morning, while exploring the area, they found something that would shatter that peace. A house. It stood in a small clearing, its weathered wooden exterior blending into the forest like it had grown there. The roof sagged under the weight of time, and ivy crawled up the sides, reclaiming the structure for nature. "What the hell is this doing here?" Jake asked, his voice cutting through the silence. "Maybe someone used to live out here," Liz suggested, though her tone betrayed her unease. Amy shivered. "It's creepy, let's go back." But Cole, always the daring one, stepped closer, his curiosity piqued. "Come on, when are we ever going to find something like this again? Let's check it out." Reluctantly, the others followed. The door creaked as Cole pushed it open, the sound echoing unnaturally in the stillness. Inside, the house was eerily preserved. Dust covered every surface, but the furniture remained intact. A table in the kitchen still held plates, forks, and even a cup tipped over, as if someone had left in the middle of a meal. "It's like they just vanished," Liz whispered, running her fingers over a dusty chair. Amy clutched her arms, glancing around nervously. "Guys, this doesn't feel right. We shouldn't be here." Cole ignored her, venturing deeper into the house. "There's probably a cool story behind this place," he said. "Maybe the owners just left in a hurry. Or maybe it's haunted." "Not funny, Cole," Amy snapped, her eyes darting to the dark corners of the room. The house seemed bigger on the inside than it had looked from the outside. As they explored, the air grew colder, heavier. The walls felt like they were closing in, and the creaking of the floorboards under their feet seemed unnaturally loud. They found a staircase leading to the second floor, but Amy refused to go up. "I'll wait outside," she said, her voice shaky. "No one's waiting alone," Jake said firmly, staying behind with her. Cole and Liz climbed the stairs, their footsteps echoing in the hollow silence. The upstairs was worse. The wallpaper was peeling, and the air smelled of mildew and rot. They found a bedroom with an unmade bed, a wardrobe half open, clothes spilling out as if someone had been in the middle of packing. "What kind of person leaves their house like this?" Liz muttered, running her hand along the dusty dresser. Cole opened a door at the end of the hall, revealing a smaller room. Inside, there was nothing but an old rocking chair sitting in the center. The chair moved. Liz froze. "Did you see that?" Cole nodded slowly, his breath catching. "Maybe it's the wind." "There's no wind," Liz whispered, backing away. Downstairs, Amy and Jake waited in tense silence. Amy paced near the door, her arms wrapped tightly around herself. "This place gives me the creeps. They've been up there too long." Jake nodded but said nothing, his gaze fixed on the staircase. Then they heard it, a loud thud, followed by Liz's scream. Jake didn't hesitate. He bolted up the stairs, Amy close behind. They found Liz standing in the hallway, trembling, her back pressed against the wall. "Where's Cole?" Jake demanded. Liz pointed to the door at the end of the hall, her voice barely above a whisper. "He went in there. I turned around for a second, and when I looked back, he was gone." Jake pushed past her, throwing the door open. The room was empty. The rocking chair sat in the center, still moving, creaking softly. "Cole!" Jake shouted, his voice echoing through the house. There was no response. Panic set in as they searched the house, calling Cole's name. But he was gone. It didn't make sense. There were no other exits, no signs of a struggle. It was as if he had disappeared into thin air. "We need to get out of here," Amy said, tears streaming down her face. Reluctantly, they left the house, stepping back into the woods. But as they turned to look back, the clearing was empty. The house was gone. They searched the area for hours, calling Cole's name until their voices were hoarse. But there was no trace of him, no footprints, no sign the house had ever existed. When they finally made it back to their campsite, the sun was setting. They packed up in silence, their minds reeling. Jake called the police when they reached the main road, but when officers searched the area, they found nothing. No house, no Cole. Days turned into weeks, and Cole was declared missing. His friends were questioned repeatedly, but their story was met with skepticism. An abandoned house that vanished? It sounded like something out of a ghost story. But Liz, Amy, and Jake knew the truth. They never camped again. And every so often, when Liz closed her eyes, she saw the rocking chair, moving, waiting, the end. Let me know your thoughts.